one of those key things is having a positive outlook. So why I say that is everybody in this room is here, I believe, for a reason. Like I said, I know that sounds kind of a little bit goofy almost, but I believe that there's no accident that every single person, every single one of you that's in this room is in this room, whether it's to meet people or to hear something, or just to share this time together. So it's a real honor to me, by the way, to have you guys here. So that was number 3, and then number 4, the elephant in the room. The most important thing is you're going to walk away with a plan, like I said. So we're going to have, we're going to each kind of dig in, and we're going to not only goal set, which we're going to do here in just a second first, but then we're also going to have daily activities, weekly activities, monthly activities that actually drive you step by step towards those goals. So when I coach people one-on-one, if I've heard this once, I've probably heard it 1,000 times, which is, you know, Tobi, I'm a hard worker. If someone would just tell me what to do, I would do it, right? I want to, you know, I know I'm smart, I know I care about customers, I care about people, I put the work in, I just don't know how to get from point A to point B. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And certainly, there's a lot of great things about real estate, in the real estate industry, which is there's a lot of ways to skin the cat. There's a lot of different maps, or there's a lot of different recipes for that success. So the nice thing about you guys doing your individual plan, could I have typed up a plan and given you guys all the daily activities and weekly activities and monthly activities? I could have. I mean, if you see me outside afterwards, I'll give you the list. No, I'm just kidding. There's no secret plan. But you making your own plan, I can give you some ideas. Let's put it that way. Fair enough? So here's a bold statement that I'm going to make. If you did not achieve in 2018 what you wanted to achieve, we'll pretend that the year's almost, I know we're a little bit done, but we'll pretend it's over. If you did not achieve in 2018 what you wanted to achieve, you're going to have to do some things different in 2019. Sounds very like, no kidding, Tobi, it's pretty, I came here for that, that's pretty basic. I get it, but it is funny to me how there again, I'll use a coaching conversation I had recently, it happens all the time, where I'll say, okay, we're going to build your 2019 business strategy, so let's talk about what we're going to put on this plan of yours. And they start listing all the things that they're doing now, which would be great if they had made any money in 2018, but it's like, so you had one closing this whole year, which is not what they had planned to close, right? So they want to close 5 transactions next year, but if you just do more of the same thing that you did this year, you're going to get the same result, right? It sounds like I said, when I say it out loud, it sounds pretty basic. But today I encourage you, when we get into digging in, and I'm going to share, like I said, a bunch of ideas. Some of them maybe you thought of, and some of them you might think, that's a good idea, I haven't thought of that. I'd encourage you to branch out a little bit and maybe, try some different things. Now, I'll caveat that by saying a lot of coaches will say, you have to do things completely different, get out of your comfort zone. We all heard that before. You have to stretch yourself, and if you don't like door knocking, just get out there and door knock, and you'll get over it, you'll start loving it, right? If you don't like cold calling, just make 1,000,000 calls and you'll like it. I'm a little different on this. So I will say that I think you want to give everything, every different avenue, every different strategy, which we'll talk about, I think you want to give everything a fair shot. Because I think until you go door knocking for a couple of days, how do you know? You might love it. You might not, but you might love it. And there's people in this room, I know personally, that have built a nice solid career from door knocking. So it works, right? That said, like I said, I'm a little different in philosophy maybe. I think if you hate something, if you've tried it and you hate it, I just don't think it's going to work for you. I really don't, because you have to, Tony Robbins, one of my favorite talks that he does, he talks about loving the process, and I believe that to be true. Going back to one of those things between the average and the achievers, one of those differences, people that are achievers, people that really have consistent success, they like the process, they enjoy it. There's something about their job they enjoy. And maybe I'm crazy, but if you absolutely hate making cold calls and you put on your plan, you're going to make 100 cold calls every day, you ain't going to do it. And if you do, you're going to hate it, and you're going to end up hating your job. So we're going to try to do some things that you actually enjoy and make it fun. And I believe that each one of you, you're all blessed to have different personalities, and so there's things and strengths that each one of you guys have that can make, that you can integrate into the career, to the job role that you have. Fair enough? Okay, so we'll talk about, before we go on to goal setting, which is really, like I said, kind of an interesting, a fun little exercise, I want to share a story. By show of hands, has anybody ever heard the story of Jim Carrey, the actor, having a positive mindset, kind of one of those power of positive thinking? Has anybody ever heard him share the story about him writing himself a check and visualizing his success before it happened? Okay, a few of you. Good. I'm going to share the story with you really quick, but I wanted to verify I'm not making this up. There were other people in the room that heard this story. And afterwards, you can Google it. You can hear him say it in his own words. But it's kind of interesting. So going back to, and I'll trickle in little examples, little stories throughout the day. But going back to mindset and visualizing what you want, what your goal is, because we're going to talk about setting your goal. It's really important to visualize, to see that success, to not only just write the number, the transaction count on the piece of paper, which is important, by the way. There's psychology to actually writing something down that you want, believe it or not. You know your odds double that you're going to achieve your goal, which is huge. Double. Your odds double if you did nothing different except for write down your goal. It's crazy. It's almost hard to fathom, but it's the truth statistically. So Jim Carrey, years ago, well before he ever did any of his big hits, so he was like a big actor, did little odd-end jobs, acting jobs, but was in the acting industry. He really wanted to make it big, and he had already believed and bought in. Some mentors of his had told him that he needed to visualize his success in order to really hit it big. And he wrote himself a check. Those of you who heard the story, this is a true story. He still has the check. He wrote himself a check for acting services rendered for $10 million. And he carried it around with him for 10 years. It was like a crumpled up little, when you carry something around your wallet for a while, it's going to be pretty ratty by the time you carry it around for 10 years. It was like faded and all crumpled. But when he got his first big hit, his first big movie, that's exactly what they paid him. It was $10 million. When he wrote the check, he was living out of his car. It's like, go and listen to the story. It's pretty amazing. Now that said, he took actions toward that goal, right? He didn't just sleep in his car, write the check for $10 million, and then not do anything. So we're gonna make little baby steps towards your goal. But nevertheless, hey, if we're that easy, maybe we should all write checks for $10 million. I know I can see some of the looks on your face. It's like, I have an idea. we can try it. Just write it on your plan anyway. But I do think it's important. I think it's very interesting, and obviously that's just one example. There's a lot of people, there's whole books written on it, right? The Secret and Mind Over Matter and all these different things, so it's kind of interesting. But I also think when we're going to talk about goals, which you guys actually have in a second piece of paper in your folder, and those of you who came in a little bit later, does everybody have a folder back in back? No?